Hello, my friends, and welcome back to a brand new Realm News. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. And today is part two to the discussion with the Sun King. Last week, if you recall, we discussed art and Notch's nonsense, as I dub it, and this week, as I told you last week, I decided to split in two because we spoke for 2 hours, and I just decided that was way too long for one podcast episode, so I split it in two. So I apologize right off the bat that after this intro, it jumps right in there because I didn't have it set up that way when we first were talking, and so it just kind of just brings you in the middle of the conversation, but it's right where we pick up from last week. And we're kind of making that transition from Notch's nonsense over to Biome ideas, where we're going to be just pitching ideas back and forth, Sam and I, what we think would be really cool to be added into the game, new mobs, features, what have you, all that. It's a really fun episode. I hope you'll enjoy. Let's get it going. Over to Biomes and mobs, and let's leave this nonsense of Notch. How about that?
Yes. This ties in, though. Instead of a Minecraft 2, let's talk about what we think would improve the core game, Minecraft.
Exactly. And a lot of people have their speculations, I mean, this community is a great community, but it's a very unsatisfied community.
Oh,
And
yeah.
although this is just our opinions, like we already stated, and for me as a player, I'm perfectly content with Minecraft. Everything that they add in is just a bonus. That's how I see it. It's like, wow.
I agree.
Years ago, like when you got me into this, I didn't know that this was a thing that they were just going to continuously update and expand the universe of Minecraft. I didn't know they were just going to do that for free
No, there's no way
forever.
we could have predicted that it would have turned into the game now, with all the things that they added and everything that they're continuing to add or considering adding. It's really
It's
cool.
insane. It just
Really
keeps
cool.
adding, and it just people add and add. But I do feel, and I agree, when you sent me that sports Skita article on like biomes that could be improved upon, this is something you hit a thread that's going on right now. A lot of people feel like there's some empty biomes in the overworld. I mean, I don't want to talk about the end, and that specifically because you and I have not been there.
Yeah, we don't know it.
So I'm not even going to discuss that. And honestly, that's already been discussed so many times. I don't feel like pounding that drum. Like everybody online wants an end update. I get it.
Sure.
You guys will get it whenever it's out. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't,
yeah.
I'm not going to even elaborate on the end. Sorry, you guys don't have an end update, but we're going to talk about the overworld. I'm not even going to get into the nether. So I think the
No.
nether is actually pretty well balanced, in my opinion. But I, I love how they add and add and add new things. Don't get me
Agreed.
wrong, I love it. I'm just a little concerned. If you keep adding, do you have a big enough team to go back through and fix things? Like the allays and whatnot. Like those have been in the game
Yes.
for years upon years, and yet they're broken. Like they're so broken. Like
Yeah,
I'm just afraid that is it going to get oversaturated? Is that a possibility?
I like your
What do
opinion
you
on
think?
this. Yeah, I like your opinion on this on the LAs, but also, yeah, I mean, how much would we add to Minecraft until it's almost not Minecraft anymore? You
Until
know,
it's the real world.
yeah, until it's an approximation of their world. But that's why I think, this is a wish list. Obviously, Microsoft, they're talented at game development and they know what they're doing and they know what they can add
They got
that
a ton of
won't
money too to
break
back
the
it up.
game. Oh, tons of money. That won't break the game completely or make it unrecognizable. So that's why this is just minor gripes in our sort of wish list of what we think would be cool in the game.
What
Um,
we find empty.
yeah, and what we might find empty or like could be added to make it more fun for us. Uh, I agree with your opinion on the allays and the sort of ally mobs like wolves. The way that
Yes,
we play, we have minecart or rail systems that go all over, like thousands and
everywhere.
thousands of blocks away, and
No
allays
joke.
just simply aren't able to keep up with us. Um,
No, they
and
get
I
caught on everything.
everything, and I would like, an allay is like a magical creature. I would
It
like
is.
if it could just teleport to where you're at if it gets stuck.
Maybe
Um,
pass through opaque blocks.
yeah, and just like let's a little quality of life thing. And again,
Hmm.
like I said at the beginning, we're not developers, so we don't know if that is achievable for an online multiplayer game like this.
Yeah,
But it
we're
would be
just
nice.
idea men.
We're just idea men. Take our ideas and give us money, please. But
Yeah, just throw us the money. We've got ideas all day.
yeah,
But
I'll cook up a bunch. But it would be. I would really enjoy it. I like the LA. I like the idea of it. I think it's really cool to have a little floating companion that sort of gathers things for
I
you. Is
do too.
really freaking cool.
The allay's a great concept, and actually, I need to do research over it. I don't even know when it was introduced into the game.
You need to do an episode over it.
I will one day.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, if it could keep up with us on our mine carts and not get stuck on things, that would make me happy. I would love to have, 3 or 4 allays follow me around picking things up for me.
Yeah, I would love that as well. Honestly, I think. What else? I know they have a hard time retrieving items too. I notice, like they hover so close next to you. It's like I can just pick that up myself.
Yeah, I'm already there, Yeah, yeah, agreed.
But I can
Agreed.
see how it's useful. Well, and at the same time, okay, I was about to say I can see how it's useful in case like some of those blocks drop to depth, like fall off edges, and I don't want to go down to it. But at the same
Right.
time, it gets caught on so many edges and on blocks that caves are confined spaces. It can't get through. I have an elate that followed me into the nether. I wish I could do what are
Oh
those called,
no.
standpoints or waypoints,
Yeah.
and like direct it like, hey, wait or sit here like a dog,
Yes. A simple command would be cool. Yeah, for an
because
allay.
I didn't want it to come into the nether with me.
Well, and I think also of the cat. When you tame a cat and you sleep, it in the morning it has something for you.
That is cool. I do like that.
So maybe something similar with the allay where you go to sleep and then whatever block it's holding, boom, there's another one. Hey,
It's a mob head.
yeah, sure, cool. Like, or I could put a diamond in its hand and I wake up and it's got another diamond would be wonderful for me, but
That would be amazing.
that would be cool. Um,
That
but
would
yeah,
be
it
cool.
just being like a fetch guy and sort of fetching thing is a really cool idea, but it's not. It gets stuck too often. It's yeah, exactly what you're saying, man. Or
And
you're
I
too
think
close to
it's
whatever it is for it to be useful.
and honestly, I think it's simple fixes that could make it an effective mob because it is a great concept. Who doesn't want an entity to collect the items that they're just leaving behind? It'd be useful actually, like for collecting seeds and whatnot, because those when I'm in my crops and I'm just ripping right through, like harvesting,
Yeah,
like those seeds scatter everywhere and fall in the water and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to jump in the water. Just an
yeah,
inconvenience for I'm a lord.
yeah.
And
It's not for me.
why
Get
not
my
having a
robes wet.
life? You get it for me. Or chopping wood because sometimes those wood pieces get caught up in the leaves and stuff, which it's
Yep, true.
convenient to have something go get it for me. I don't
True.
know.
But I agree, like having a command to where it can just stay in your home. And then when you are doing that farming or you're cutting down trees, like, hey, follow me. You
Yeah,
know, that I think would improve it vastly. So I
I
agree
do
with that
too.
100%. And it's the same with wolves. I wish the wolves could ride in the minecart with me.
I think you should
Hop in a boat
be
with
able to
me.
have 2 players in a minecart, like a boat.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. If you could have
I
two players riding a minecart like the boat, I don't see that
Why
being very,
not?
very difficult,
I mean, in
you know?
Indiana Jones, they had, like, 3 people in a minecart, didn't they?
Yeah, and that was awesome. Um, well, and
That
so
was awesome.
this kind of ties into one of mine. Um, Sitting in chairs,
Yes, thank you. Wow,
please,
I am glad you brought that up, bro.
please.
Sitting in chairs is something we've been talking about forever. I know other people out there want this as well.
Yeah, it would just add to the immersion, and also it doesn't seem that difficult. Your character sits in mine carts, he sits in a boat, or they sit in boats.
Yes. Yes.
Have us able to sit in chairs would help the immersion. We
Why
can sit
is it
down and eat some cake, like that would just be fun.
Yeah, and if it's like a do you think it's a game mechanic issue? Like, oh, we can't just it would be hard to do like on any block. Like maybe they should just make it that you can make a specific chair, make a chair an item in the game.
That is my thing because
That's
I don't think because I think it would be a big thing for them to be like, well, you can sit on this dirt block because that would require a different button and
Yeah,
like
it'd be kind of hard.
a whole thing, right? But I think if you just add craftable chairs, boom, you
And
know,
have the option like with a chest open, just sit when you click it.
yeah, because like I already said, you could sit in mine carts, you can sit in boats. Have a
That would be really cool because you could have different type of woods represent like different colored chairs, like a cherry wood
yes
tree, a cherry tree wood chair, which is
spruce,
pink, or pale
yeah.
garden wood chair. That would be cool.
And then imagine the ornate throne rooms people already
Oh my
make, but they
gosh.
could make that where you could sit in it.
Call
That
them
would be really
thrones.
cool. Yes, that would be so cool. Or just a porch, like a chair on your porch.
That would be
You could watch
amazing
your
to watch the
villagers walk by.
sunsets.
You watch the sunset. Drink a bottle of honey. Watch your villagers run by.
Yeah.
You know,
I would love that. That no, that would and I think that would be pretty easy to do.
agree 100%. I think that would be a simple thing. They just have to add a craftable new thing. Boom. And then you can stack them next to each other, make a bench, like you can with two chests next to each other. Then
Exactly.
two of you could sit next to each other and watch the sunset or fish off your dock.
Sit down and fish. What?
Yes, that'd be fun, right? And more immersive.
That would
And
be
I
fun.
That's kind of one of my simpler of the sort of notes that I took when I was thinking about this idea.
Well,
Um,
along those lines, I have something to add to sitting. Because if you're going to
cool.
sit down, wouldn't it be nice if you could have a bowl of your soup on the table as well?
Ah, that'd be so fun.
Because we can always set down cake if I'm thinking right. The rest of items can only be up on vertical walls in
Yeah,
item
and
frames,
item
which
frames.
is annoying because I would like to be able to make a table,
That would be cool
like
to
set a table
a table and a chair and then being able to set well then that's the thing they do already have that you're able to set down a cake so
or candles
or candles so they
or
should
sea
have
pickles,
lanterns
lanterns,
vases so I don't
torches.
see why they couldn't just like yeah you have a wooden bowl it's full of soup you they just add that ability into the game and you just set down the soup
Yeah.
or
Maybe create plates for the other food items. You can put food on a plate.
plates I was thinking like a wood mug why not.
Mugs would be neat. I was thinking, why don't we have, I know that they don't, and it makes sense. Let's, no alcohol or anything, obviously, but why
Sure.
not tea? Tea
Tea.
leaves.
Well, and I like
Tea is everybody around the world loves tea.
Well, and I like
Coffee.
in your upcoming novelette, not to spoil anything, but you have the characters drinking bottles of honey,
I do. It's
which
a
is
form of mead,
yeah, it's
by
a mead esque. Yeah,
mead-esque.
why not? That would all be fun and a little more immersive, I think, and just sort of a small quality of life update. Sit at your table in the evening. Write in your journal. You write in the books
I love
frequently.
writing books, and I know that's hard for people with controllers, but since I play on my tablet, I love writing books in my
Yeah.
overworld.
imagine sitting at a desk, it could be the same as a table in your study or whatever, and then writing out the latest realm news. It's not like
And
that's
you
a
could have the
huge
book there because books can sit on a book stand.
exactly, and that's not a huge it's not a huge upgrade or anything, but or even a necessity. It's just a small quality of life thing where it's like this is more immersive. I'm in my cottage or my castle, and I'm going to sit down and write in my tome.
I do like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I think that would be cool. So one of the things that you sent to me kind of ties into one of my more complex ideas, where
What's
this
that?
is like you mentioned new villager occupations, and you
Yes.
specifically mentioned musicians, which I
Yes, I've
thought
been
was
thinking about that
so cool.
forever.
Because I mean, we have rabbit skins, make a drum. We have
Yes.
spider webs, make a lute.
Yes.
And then just sort of set that
We have
down.
sticks.
Yeah, and set that down as a
Make a
villager.
flute.
Make a flute and set that down as a villager occupation. Then go by and pick it up, and you can have a bandstand. And when you're
They can sell
walking through,
music discs.
that would be amazing. And when you walk through your world, you have the band playing in the tavern or whatever.
I would
Uh,
love that. Yeah,
that would be
they're
amazing.
playing on the street or in the village, I mean.
Yeah, that'd be amazing to have that little bit of like ambient songs happening
Yes.
and things like, and it would make the villagers a little more immersive. Like, look, they have entertainment now.
And you can
They're
get some of the
developing.
original artists like Lorena Rain or C418 or Jukio Kaliko or any of those musicians that have worked for Minecraft or some new ones to develop some new songs that they can play as that ambient background noise in the village
And now
that musician's playing. That'd be cool.
that would be great. That would be amazing. And that sort of ties into this is a little bit more of a complex idea for me, but um, you're able to make all these foods and things, and this ties into being able to set food down on tables. But why not have some sort of mechanic with the town bell where you can sort of activate like a village festival and you could lay
Ooh,
out cakes and stuff, and then the villagers can, take pieces out of the cake, they
that'd
gather
be
around the
fun.
bell, and let's say it lasts for what a Minecraft day is 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, so night is 10. So, have it last like 5 minutes,
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
that I think that'd be awesome. That's a great idea, and we've seen that with when you defeat a raid, they celebrate. So fireworks could go off and
Hey,
stuff. That would be cool.
exactly.
The
Yeah. And then
musician
just
could be rocking and rolling.
that's why where like you mentioned the musician, and I hadn't seen that before I wrote down this idea, but I was like, that's these kind of tie all together. And especially with if they added the tables and being able to set down like soups or just like have them access a chest, like a villager chest where you can
That
put
would be
things.
amazing. Oh, a
Where
villager chest, bro. You're proposing some
yeah,
interesting ideas. That's like a
these are
new
the big
block
ones.
altogether.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool though, because then you can put in things specifically for the villagers.
Wouldn't
Like
that be interesting if like each villager profession had its own certain chest?
that would be really cool. And then
That's
whatever
like
you put in
locked.
the chest, the villagers can grab. So like instead of just puking carrots up at them, which
And
works,
use,
it can use. Well, and that ties into your other thing, which
like building.
we've been talking about for a while. Uh, soldiers, you know.
Yes, we have, and people argue, hey, we already got defense with golems, like snow golems and iron golems. So I'm like,
Sure.
that's not the same.
No, I want in addition to golems, I want to be able to like assign
Exactly.
soldiers. Like, hey,
I
you
want to
guard
raise an
this
army.
outpost. Me too. The illagers have armies.
Exactly. And I'm sick of the villagers being so defenseless and you're up against an army by yourself. I should be able to draft a couple villagers for
Agreed.
emeralds or,
Yeah.
obviously not free.
No, and that would be amazing. Yeah, pay an emerald and then get a soldier, to conscript it in your army to fight would be amazing.
Now, the
Uh,
mechanics behind this would be off the wall, and I could see that being hard to do. And I don't, this is just something I would love to see,
well,
honestly. This is fantasy for me.
Again,
We're
we've stated this, and these are my more complex ideas. I think the being able to sit in chairs and stuff, that's perfectly doable.
Yeah,
But
that's
kind of this
realistic.
this other stuff is, yeah, again, just a wish list. It would be really freaking cool
That'd be so
to
awesome.
conscript soldiers. And honestly, I think the musician thing is doable and would be really really fun.
I think honestly that should be a new occupation. I think that should be an occupation, a
I agree
musician.
100%. Yeah, when you said that, I was like, that ties into my village festival thing, which honestly I don't think would be too
That's a
complex, but
super fun idea. That's I know we don't have technically updates anymore, but that would be like a festival update.
yes. And you could
That'd be
add the
fun, like a
chairs in the
party
city.
update with
Party
food
update.
layouts. What?
Yeah, buffet, a buffet table, and then the villagers can all eat and you can hang out and music goes off. That would be really freaking cool. And this kind of ties into another of my little more complex ideas. But you mentioned earlier in the episode, I've been playing a lot of Red Dead 2 lately, and that they're really good at having unique and random encounters, like when you're
Yeah,
just
I
sort
do
of
love
walking
that
around.
in games.
Yeah. And they're not quests, they're just fun little like character moments, or like you can give this guy a health potion and he'll live, or you can ignore him and he'll die, or whatever.
I do
Um,
enjoy that.
yeah, it's fun. It just kind of builds life into it. But so I was thinking specific Minecraft ones. Um, Dolphins you can give fish to, and they'll take you to a temple or an underground shipwreck, right?
Yeah,
So what if you encounter a villager who's lost from his village but around a village, and you give him an emerald and he takes you back to his village,
I would. Oh,
right?
that would be cool.
Right. And what if as he's walking you there he zombifies,
Oh, a
like he'd been
plot
bitten?
twist. There could be a
Yeah.
percentage of him turning, a
Yeah, and it's
chance.
not. Yeah, and it's not always, but it's still like you don't know. You could be walking through a dark woods, when you're out there far away from your home base, and you see a villager, and you're like, okay, cool, you can lead me to civilization. You can make that a trading option where you can give him an emerald, and then maybe there's a percentage afterwards that he zombifies on you and goes after you,
I love that. That's a fun idea. That
right?
is
Because then,
intriguing.
because we become attached to our villagers,
Oh,
you
I
know,
we create so yeah,
and
we
so
do.
you would be attached to this little guy, and then all of a sudden he turns on you, and you have to do like classic zombie movie,
Like
sucks, but
how far away can would these villages be? Like how far away would this stranger be?
well, and that would be the trick. And I think, realistically, sometimes you would be able to see the village and you'd still encounter this guy, but it still could just be a fun, like,
I think
flavor. And instead of it being like he's leading you to the village because you can see it, it'd be like you're returning him to the village, you know?
exactly. No, I love
You
that.
could
And
play with that. It's vague enough.
you could. And I think personally, I think it should be random chance. Like sometimes he is in somewhat close proximity of the village, and sometimes he might be a few days away. And you have to,
Yeah.
in that way, like you have to ensure
Protect him.
his or her survival to get
Oof.
there. Because obviously, if he dies, you're not going to find the village,
That would be
and
really cool, dude.
that would make things interesting.
That would make
Wow,
things really interesting. And then when you get there, like maybe, you can activate the trade menu, and there's a free trade where he just gives you an item. Like, it's not going to be worth an emerald or whatever, but it's still like small reward. Like, here's a tortoise shell scoot, or whatever.
that's cool. No,
Right? That'd be
I
fun.
love that. That feels like a mission in a sandbox game.
Yeah, because it can be very dynamic and it can still be random. And I think it's still vague enough to where it fits into the Minecraft aesthetic of like, uh, he might turn into a zombie.
No, I
You
like
can add
that.
percentages of like you get struck by lightning or something and turns into a
Yeah.
witch, which is far more insidious.
No, that's really fun.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
think it would
think
just
that's something that I would love to see, honestly. That's a great idea,
yeah,
bro.
right, yeah. It kind of makes it feel a little more lived in, and like more's going on outside of the world, and you're just sort of stumbling on it.
I,
But in the vein of random encounters, I came up with a couple of other ones besides
yeah.
that one, which is my favorite. Um, but like just running into burned out villages, which can
Ooh,
be
like
overrun by different mobs. So like a spider infested village, cobwebs everywhere, you
nice.
know, or skeleton one where
Yeah,
you have.
why don't we have villages, abandoned or
Yeah, and you could
ruined
have,
villages,
and I
and
think you
like
could just
pillagers set on fire and stuff,
illager infested villages, or you could have like
occupied?
you know how you can find like fallen trees in the woods,
Yeah.
and those are really cool. They kind of add to the aesthetic. What about like if you run into a burned out village? There's like same skeleton skin as we have, but it's laying on the ground like prone, and you could be like, "Whoa,
Ooh,
the ruins of a village," Um,
yes.
and then maybe one of the skeletons pops up.
Yet that would bring some
Yeah,
life
no,
to it.
and then that can
That would be
also
neat.
that'd be crazy, right? Um, or and I had one other
Whoa, hang
one.
on. Are you suggesting maybe a new variant of skeleton as well? Like a
Oh,
villager skeleton?
I
Because the
don't.
skeletons we see are Steves. So
Yeah, and
that'd be interesting.
I don't see why not. I mean, you just throw some tattered clothes on them because we have skeletons that wear clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
That could be fun though. Like
that'd be cool.
you see a village, you've been traveling for days, you're like, oh, thank God, and you go down there for some respite and infested with spiders,
And you have to
or
clear it.
there's no
That
light.
gives me
Yeah,
Walking Dead vibes.
right. And that's kind of a little bit of Minecraft. Is that
But I do like your idea of it being like infested with spiders, not just zombies, but like spiders or skeletons or heck, have like ravagers even like can we get vultures in the game? That'd be well, I
yes,
guess I
that'd
guess
be cool.
things don't lay around. They're just delete. So there wouldn't be really. But what
True,
if a vulture was
but
circling drops
that would
after
be
a mob died
that would
and
be
even
really
collected
fun.
orbs, the
That would be
XP orbs
that would be really fun.
before you could get to it?
Yeah,
That would
like an
be
indicator,
interesting.
you could see them and be like, "Oh, loot over here.
Yeah.
Something happened."
They start to
But
circle down lower and lower, indicating a time gap closing that they're going
yeah,
to
it's
come
almost
down.
gone. You gotta run. That
Oh
would
my
be
gosh, my
really
pork
cool.
or my XP points, or if you die, they may even collect your armor and stuff and swoop off.
Yeah, that would be really freaking cool, and add a different edge to it too, where like the world is living and things are happening where you don't see them. I think
Well,
that that's kind of what all these ideas are representing to me is like
yeah.
when you happen upon a burned out village, you're like, wow. And to sort of make it a little more practical, the skeletons that I was mentioning, like the fallen trees, if you break them apart, you get bones, you know?
Yeah,
So
no,
it could be
that'd be
practical
cool.
too. But I think like adding those little things would make the exploring of the overworld better because then you can have skeletal village or spider village and you can
Yes.
reclaim it and then bring villagers back in once you clear out the mobs.
And it'd be a great way to obtain certain resources too. Like, oh, there's a bunch of spiders there. You
Yeah,
can, probably set up certain farms eventually and whatnot.
exactly, bro. Or they already have the mob blocks. Like maybe you defeat that and you clear the village, and then you can start bringing villagers back in and rebuilding.
I love
Um,
those ideas.
yeah, and then I had one more where it's desert specific, but you're traveling
Oh,
the desert and there's a villager out there, and you can trade him a bottle of water. You know, yeah,
oh,
and maybe
classic.
he leads you to a temple or something. You know what I mean? But like,
A trade off, like a
yeah,
goodwill, almost like a karma system you're developing here.
a little bit, or you could ignore him and then nothing happens or whatever, or you go back by and he's turned into one of those
Skeletons
skeletons.
with vultures over him.
Yeah. So those are just my ideas of like random encounters that are sort of Red Dead inspired, but I think would be fun and not too wild, but I think would be a really cool addition to make the world more lived in, you know?
I think those are all excellent ideas. I can't, I hope I get some feedback from listeners on that because I think I'm going to have to make some posts over some of those ideas because I think or some polls even.
Yeah, make some polls, man, because I'd be curious to hear what the community has to say or what random encounters they would want to see. Because these are just my quick notes on like and just thoughts. I thought the villager being zombified would be really fun.
Well,
Um,
I love those ideas, and I never really thought this brings me back to the Wandering Trader, because when I was doing the research for the Wandering Trader episode, that Wandering Trader was inspired by I can't remember, but just the type of video games that we like when you come upon a regular NPC that and you need and you're low on supplies, that's a way to get more supplies. Well, this character is just roaming around, and they're part of this world, and they have like their own lore behind them, but they're this extra feature, like this mechanic of the game themselves.
yeah,
I
exactly, man. And that would be this would fall right in line with that.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I love because we no we that's really intriguing, because it also makes me think of Fallout 2, because with all the side
Yeah.
quests and like the characters that run up to you asking you to do stuff or need help.
Yes.
I that's really cool.
Well, and it also, but it fits Minecraft specifically because like we've all been in the overworld in survival mode and just been way out there and like it's night's coming. I did not build a shelter, and then this
Yeah.
random villager's like, I'm lost too. I can lead you back to my home. I need an escort or whatever. They don't have to say anything. You can just build that into as the
Yeah.
interaction is like, oh, maybe this guy will help me. Let me give him an emerald, and then that'll make emeralds a little more survival based, useful, and less
I really would
trading.
love to see something happen with the villagers. That's something I would love to see an update over. I want to see more occupations. I want to see them I want to see them what's the word I'm looking for? I want to see them become more complex, have more of a
Yeah.
life, you
Yes.
know?
Agreed.
Just not something for me to interact with, but something that breathe more life into them.
Yeah,
Not
that's
just their
happening.
appearance, but in their movements and behavior.
Yeah, like they have their own interior lives and you're just witnessing it. I agree with that. Like that's what I mean by this is like things are it should I want it to seem more like the world is living beyond
Mhm.
when I'm just around. So when I'm exploring the overworld and I run upon a burned out village, I'm like I can fill that in.
I
I can
love
fill
that.
that lore in. I could be like, well, what happened here? And then
I love the idea of the random villager encounters, and I love the village yeah, the fallen villages sounds that should be a thing. Honestly, I don't know why
it
we don't
should,
see that.
right?
There's ruins all over the world. I don't know why we don't come upon abandoned villages or ruined villages.
Well, and also it would make the mobs scarier because you're like, wow, these villagers succumbed to spider attacks, and now
Yeah.
they're gone, and the spiders remain, or skeletons took over this village. And they could be mob
That's really
specific,
cool.
and then you could even just introduce like new blocks, like burned wood blocks, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
charred wood
Ooh.
blocks or something.
That can be easily turned into charcoal.
Yeah, yeah, or
Something
maybe
like
they
that.
burn a little longer than charcoal or something, or
Yeah.
yeah, and then it can give you a new building aesthetic too, where you can
That would
build your
be
own
cool.
burned wood
Char.
cottage, charred wood cottage. Um,
I like it.
thanks, man.
I
Yeah, I
was
get.
I know that you can't you've thought a little bit deeper. When I was thinking of some things, I started thinking more towards the sky, just because
Yeah,
it's so empty.
the sky is empty. Yeah,
I would like to see ambient visualizations, I suppose. I want to see passive mobs. I like the bat. You can't do anything with the bat, but I know a lot of people would like to see birds just like kind of scattered in the
birds would be
sky.
cool. Yeah,
But
and
I was also thinking, and this is more for maybe multiplayer or PvP even, but like a carrier pigeon or a parrot if you don't want to add any more birds, but a way
oh,
like
that'd
if
be
we're
cool.
separated from each other, maybe I could send a stack of items your way and it would fly across vast distances and would land to you, and you could obtain a stack of cobblestone or let's say coal, or maybe you can even treat it like the bundle system where it could have a whole range of items stored on it and
Oh
you are
wow.
able to obtain, or a message. Maybe I can type a message out and have it sent. I don't know.
Wow, that would be really cool.
I
Yeah,
thought
like a
that would be.
letter or something, or like a missive. Yeah, mail would be cool and would
Wouldn't
add to
that?
the immersion. Yeah, that would be really cool. Because
I thought
right
so.
now we have ender chests, but those are specific to characters. So being
Yeah,
able
you
to
can't. I
like
can't see what you have.
have you, because you have a kingdom in my realm,
Yes,
and it's thousands of blocks away. So to be able to send a pigeon your way, like
would
hey,
be
you
amazing.
requested this, so send that off your way. That would be really cool, man.
I think so, and I think it'd be handy. It might take some time, but I think that's an easy game mechanic. Like, I don't think you have to keep that thing rendering the whole distance. Just calculate the time it would take at that speed of the bird, make it disappear out when it's away from your character's
Yeah,
range, and then it gets to you based off
reappears.
that calculation of how long it would take.
That would
And
be cool.
it's that easy. You don't have to, I don't think, take up any space or memory by actually having it render blocks during its own voyage. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and maybe you can make that a specific, like you have to craft like a roost, and then
yeah.
that's
And I apologize
where.
about that noise. I had an alarm go off. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I didn't even hear it.
I
But
did.
yeah,
Okay,
you could
go
build like
ahead.
a roost where like I send something to you, and then it's floating there by the roost, and
Yeah,
so you have
that
to go collect it, and then that way it's a
that
little
would
more
be
like
interesting.
instead of character to character, it's roost to
Yes.
roost, and you can have it
I
like disappear and then appear there.
kind of like how
Um,
bees go into hives, but a roost. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then you could figure out how to put a hopper on that and have it just drop into a chest instead of just floating, or
No,
make it
that's
like a hopper where it's only like 3 slots and those will fill up quick unless you build a hopper and a chest and
I
things. That
like
would be cool, dude.
that's clever. That's clever.
Yeah,
It's something else about skies. Going away from the carrier pigeon, or I would make
mhm.
it a a pigeon, I personally.
That would be fun.
Except for, fact check me, the carrier pigeon actually is not the pigeon that carries things. It
Oh, is that
is,
right?
yeah, that's a misnomer. It's the other type of pigeon. I listened to a podcast over it, but I can't remember. That was a long time ago. Anyways,
Oh, cool.
it's not the actual carrier pigeon, it's some other type. But anyways,
It's
I'd have
that
that type of
idea.
pigeon.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an idea.
yeah.
Going away from that, but directed in the sky, I think I would elevate the sky. I would make it so we could stack higher, like almost infinitely.
Raise the roof.
Yes, raise the roof just so we can, just because. Also,
Yeah,
I think I would add shooting stars,
that would be really cool.
it's just for a life like thing,
That
you
would be
know.
really cool.
I
Well,
think it
and
would
I
be
mean, even if
interesting.
you want to, so they have lightning. I mean, even if you wanted to tie that into my random encounters idea, if you wanted to have a shooting star, and then you
Ooh.
could maybe chase it, because I know in like Legend of Zelda,
What
Tears of the
about
Kingdom,
rainbows?
rainbows would be beautiful. Like after a storm,
Yeah, well, they are proposing seasons, perhaps.
when
Now,
you
actually,
mention
that's all
that,
speculation. That's speculation.
when you mention
People
that,
think that they're
that would
dropping
be
a lot
awesome.
of hints that seasons are coming.
That would be amazing if they introduced seasons. I would
Yeah, I
love
was going to ask you
to
what
have to
you
survive
thought.
a winter.
I think it would be fun. It would, but somebody did raise a good point about how people would hate it, maybe.
Well, I mean, sure.
Because,
All of our ideas, people will either hate or like. I mean, it's
yeah,
you know.
but seasons would be cool. But somebody did make this suggest, or this, they made this point that, okay, you're going to get a season, but in this world, that's going to last like a couple hours, and then you're going to be going from a whole range of seasons. You can't just set your motif based on a certain biome anymore after that.
Well, and that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that's not a huge deal. I just have, I mean, that's how it is in the real world. I don't build
I
I
think
built,
that seasons is overall a good idea because, like, how the modding community is so strong. and how people can play in just create mode. You can
Yeah.
just switch seasons off, and if you want to build that, you can build that. But as
Yeah,
far as
I think
like,
it'd just be yeah, I think you're right. Toggle it on or off
yeah,
feature like you
because
can do with many things on the game.
think about it like this: you build a cottage in a pasture world or biome, and it's cozy, and then there's a rainstorm. That doesn't kill your mood. I think that it would be really fun to have to like survive winters, and have different like a snowstorm and stuff. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I no, I agree. I think it'd be super realistic too, and it just add I don't know, it just added a new element to the game.
Oh, 100% agree. I think it would make that dynamic. And I guess, I mean, what our theme so far is, we want a more immersive, dynamic world.
That's what it's sounding like. But I don't want to be super hyper realistic. I just
No, but
simple mechanics, you know.
yeah, and I think the seasons are cool for that. I mean, you've seen, I built the village of Lava Fall in my tundra biome, and I imported oak trees, and those oak trees got covered with snow, and that
I
looks really cool to me.
and you see and I think a way to approach seasons or like that where you have lava fall, which is clearly around an ice spike biome in a super cold place, which you don't want it to get warmed up, right? But I
Right.
think you could add instead of seasons, since that's like an Arctic cold environment, maybe perhaps some weather shifts like a snowstorm or blizzards occurring, like more violent type storm systems that occur in more static and
Yeah,
less
sandstorms.
varying seas or climates, I should say.
Yeah, sandstorms in the desert.
I That would be awesome.
That'd be really cool. Like, just reduce your visibility.
Yes,
Would be
and
the
maybe like how
consequence.
snow stacks up, you'd have sand stacks
That would be cool. Yeah, like your
during
your
those,
your cottage is covered in sand now.
and
That
you
would
have to
be
clear it
cool.
like you have to clear snow. That would be awesome.
That would be really cool. I would really enjoy that. Yeah, just the more dynamic elements they can bring into it to make the world feel a little more lived in.
Yes, and
You
I
know.
do know that they are wanting to do that because there's been a lot they have an add-on that they just released that is free that you can download, but it's ambient noise pack. And I watched the video to it and it was pretty neat, honestly.
That would be cool.
It is. It is. It's not just biome specific, these ambient noise. It is in accordance to blocks that you're near. So if you're
Uh,
near, like, yeah, it's like, let's say you start stepping, or if you're around trees and whatnot, you'll hear wind, or if you're on a mountain peak, you hear certain sounds in elevation, different elevations,
that
or
would be really cool. The-
underwater, or I don't think they did anything with the end or nether, but
Oh, sure.
this was just
One we're
overworld. But
specifically talking overworld here, so yeah,
yeah. So it was really neat that they were thinking about, okay, this is these noises depend on not just the biome, but also the blocks that you're at.
that would be really cool.
So they're
That would,
getting good with that. And I appreciate that because, and I think the Pell Garden biome was the first biome to really exhibit ambient noises. So that really gives proof that Mojang is headed towards that direction of ambient sound.
yeah, they're at least considering it since they've already added it to at least one
Yeah.
biome.
And
That
I'm
would be
pretty sure they're
really
going to
cool.
expand on that.
I would love to see that. The seasons, really, when you told me that a lot of people are speculating on that, that got me excited. I think that
Kind
would
of
be
gave you a little
really,
adrenaline burst in it.
yeah, it'd be really fun just to like, got to survive winter and then spring, and
Yeah,
then
because right now it's a little monotone when it comes to the weather and stuff. They need to do something with like change the pattern. Like add new patterns of rain at least.
yeah, like a light storm,
Yeah, just a
or
lightning storm or like keep even if you don't want to do drastic changes, you could keep it the same but just amp it up like like in Kansas, we have like you'll see clouds in the distance starting to approach. Like and
Yeah,
have lightning coming from that. Like it could
a
be
little more
simple little
predictable.
things.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would be
Make it
really
more
cool.
unpredictable. Yes. And
And
that's
that,
not something you even need AI for. I'm just saying throw in random patterns. Just change the pattern.
yeah, a little more variety in the weather patterns. I agree with that.
Exactly. Like
That would
you
be
don't have to go
really
all
cool.
crazy.
No, that would be really cool, man.
I'm a
Um,
simple man. I'm a simple
hey,
man.
same. Like I said, I just want a little more, yeah, variety and dynamics in it, you know, and that's kind of why my whole idea for the random encounters came up was that like those would be fun, and you could participate in them or not, you know, and
I
just
love the random encounter thing. I've had this idea of a troubadour slash musician in my head forever, and now I'm
oh, that's
thinking
so cool.
that'd be cool to encounter some random troubadour musician on the road.
Yeah, minstrel on the road, you know, give
That
him an
would be
emerald and he'll
fine.
play you a song.
That would be cool. That
That would
would
be
and it
really
would
cool.
you wouldn't feel as I do like feeling lonely sometimes. I like the vast distances that I experience between villages, but
Agreed.
I also think that would be neat to encounter the random person.
I really think it would, and the different mobs and attacking villagers would just add this sort of danger element of being out in the overworld
And
because
I really like the karmic system that isn't even a system that you are setting up in this hypothetical. I like that. Like
yeah.
you, yeah, okay, this guy needs help. It's not like you're going to be cursed if you don't help him, but hey, you might get something out of it. Like,
Yeah, you might get something out of it, or it might just, for our benevolent players, you want to help a villager. You want
what
to
if
give him
sometimes
water
he's
in
a
the
bad
desert.
villager? What if he leads you to somewhere bad?
Oh, like an illager outpost or something.
Yeah, what if he
Yeah, like a
that would
trader.
yeah, a trader of of a village or maybe to like a mob's like a to a cave that's like
Yeah,
full
or a
of mobs.
spider's nest. Yeah, that would be really cool.
That would be interesting. Like have it
That
go
would be.
both ways so that way you're weary.
Yes, that would be awesome. And then just have that. Yeah, that would be really cool. And that would add to the unpredictable element because you're doing the right thing, might not work out for you, you know,
Exactly, like the real
or you might
world.
find a new village. Yeah, like the real world, or you might not find a cool new village.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think random encounters would be really sweet. I think all of these ideas are really brilliant.
random
And
encounters is my favorite.
thanks, bro. Yeah, I all inspired out of Red Dead, but I think it would add so much to the world.
Well, that makes me think of like the for some reason the Fallout random stranger that pops up and helps you out. Like
Yeah,
and
exactly,
I don't know why that pops up, but it's like, you know,
exactly.
it just gives that bit of that kind of a shock value too. It's like, wait, what's this person doing out here?
Yeah, he's
Like,
way out in the middle of nowhere. What the
yeah,
hell?
villagers are always together. What's going on here?
Yeah, and then you have to protect him as he goes back. Or like I said, if he turns zombified, then you might like this guy, and all of a sudden he turns zombified, and you have to defend yourself.
Well, it, like
And
for
that
my, I've had this side story of like in my head that I kind of want to write. I don't know where I incorporate it, but I don't even know if I write it, but of just like marauding villagers, ones that have just been cast out, maybe, or
displaced. Yeah.
displaced, or just like maybe groups of them in on the road, like just and they are
Caravan.
dangerous, and they're dangerous.
Yeah, caravaneers.
That's what I was thinking of, like a caravan, but they will steal your stuff. Like they want to kill you.
They want to kill you, take your stuff. Oh, that would be really
I
cool.
mean, this is
And
a
maybe you could trade
post-apocalyptic world.
yeah, and maybe you could trade emeralds with them like the piglins and that'll sort of pacify them, you know?
True.
Since they're
Yeah. Or
material
wear
based.
something certain, like a certain something.
Yeah, that would be really cool, man.
Start developing some factions in the overworld.
Yeah, hey, why not?
I
Uh,
don't know. I know
I think
that.
all of our ideas kind of feed hand in hand, though. I think like you know, kind of one domino leads to the next one, and this sort of like random encounters leads to this, and then that just sort of opens it up for them to add even more random encounters and different things that could happen.
But yes, but still keeping it as much as sandbox as it can be. Like you never want to deviate from
No,
the true mission.
and I don't think the ideas we've had have really are anti Minecraft.
My faction statement I just said, that would be kind of lore based, but
I think
I
that
was
would be the
thinking
most
very
lore.
Fallout in that
Yes,
statement because
yes,
I love that.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah. The randomness of the wasteland for sure. But
Oh man,
I also really just love. Yeah, it would just be more immersive, I think. And I think they should make mob specific villages. That way you get that shock of like, oh, it's an empty village, and you open a door and there's two spiders in there. And it's like, oh no, and there's
or maybe
cobwebs
it's on
everywhere.
fire when you approach it.
Yeah, or like I said, like it's burned up already, and there's skeletons laying around, and then one of the skeletons pops up,
That
starts
would
shooting
be
at you.
that would be awesome.
That would be cool. I think that would be very cool. And you can even just, and imagine how that would build in the community, where like I discovered a skeletal village, or
That would be
uh,
amazing.
a village overrun by zombies, and I died there, and I have to go back and clear it, and then I'm gonna repopulate it, and that kind of
Yeah,
gives you more power.
and honestly, this ties into villages, but kind of sidesteps. I think villagers should be a little bit, and I hate to use this word again, but weary of us. When we enter their villages, they don't care. Like,
Yeah, true.
I think like they should
True.
almost like stop what they're doing, or there should be, I don't know. They
Yeah,
should
like
be able
that.
to attack or defend themselves in a way.
I agree with that. I think that they should still be like on par with fighting a zombie,
Yeah.
but you know, again, it would leave it up to player choice. Like you enter a defensive village, and you might not want to, delete everyone in the village just because they're defending their home. You might just flee. Like, oh no, they're not receptive to outsiders.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that fits the aesthetic of Minecraft as well. I think that's a really smart idea. And I think like all of these just different villager variants or village variants uh, would add so much to the overworld, because there's that roll of the dice where, because now you find a village and you're like, well, yeah, there's going to be villagers, occupations, it's going to be a safe place to sleep or hang out for a little while. But if it's random and you see a village off the top of a hill and you go in and it's infested with mobs, that just,
Hmm.
it would make more than just caves and like forests kind of scary. It would also make like you would approach villages differently, you
Yeah,
know?
you would you'd be a little hesitant.
Exactly, exactly. And just adding different, because I mean they have different biome specific villages. You could just add variations: spider infested village, zombie infested village, burned up village.
Well, Sam, I'm going to have to stop you there. We're approaching the 2 hour mark.
Oh yeah, we've been going
I
for a
think I'm
while.
going to have you back on the show so we can discuss more of these because I think we have a lot more to talk about.
I agree. I'm always open for another episode too.
No, I liked the what we had going there. I think we should next time you come back on the show. In fact, let's just pick up where we left off on what we would like to see added. Our own imagination. Let's just go with that. Let's just so like what we would like to see.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
fantasy.
Yeah,
Just
and again, we're idea people. We're not
we are idea men.
we're not.
Mojang, you can reach out and hire us.
Hey,
We
anytime.
we're content creators, we're artists. You don't even have to pay us much. We just want to work somewhere nice.
Yeah, honestly, I would just like to say, hey, that was my idea. But
Yeah, there
but
we go.
no, hey, whenever you want me back, just let me know. I'm happy to be on this show. I love talking Minecraft.
No, me too. This was a fun episode. I think everybody enjoyed it. But we talked a whole range of your art from Notch's madness to this. I had a fun time, bro. Hey,
Hey, I did too.
say again where everybody can find you.
Oh, so I am on Instagram and Blue Sky, and that's at Sam HWRD22. That's on Instagram and Blue Sky. I'm posting a lot of, well, not a lot, but I'll be posting a lot more process videos of how I do the Realm News illustrations and covers. So if you really like uh, those covers and you want to see a little bit of my process and how I create them, Follow me there. I'm trying to be a little more consistent in posting those, and there's going to be that new cover for Torvingi in the Village of the Alp,
I
and
can't wait.
we'll be posting it. I'll be posting it there. The Dark Lord will be posting it on his social media platforms, and I'm sure I'll put up a process video of how I made that cover as well.
I can't wait to see your videos. I also want to get those videos so I could put on Twitter since you're not there, so people can see it. My fans can see there, and
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah,
and if you could, so I could put those on my Ko-fi and Patreon whenever I get that set up. And I
yeah,
can't wait to
absolutely.
see the book cover, bro. I know that's going to look fantastic. Your work's amazing. Everybody, go check out his accounts.
Thank you. Yes, please check it out. Give me a follow. Give me a like.
Yes, and stay
It
tuned for
costs
Sam
nothing.
coming back on the show so we can finish this discussion. I don't know when that'll be, but we'll get that hashed out, bro.
Yeah, and weigh in on your thoughts. Random encounters, sitting,
Hello,
chairs.
Realm. Yeah, no, I can't wait, bro.
All right. Thanks for
But
having me on, man.
no, as always, thanks for coming on the show. It's a blast. I love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
And we'll see you next week. I hope you all enjoyed that episode with my brother, the Sun King, and artist of Realm News. I thought we pitched a lot of awesome ideas. I don't know. Let me know what you all think at my Patreon. Go to Realm News' Patreon, which you'll find in the episode description. There'll be a link there. And just let me know what you think of the show. I had fun, and he's going to come back on, and we're going to actually carry this further. We're going to do another episode over ideas. So if you have some ideas, please pitch them to me. I'll try to get them on the show. I'll review them, and I think that'll be fun. I think we might be on to something new. When the Sun King comes on, this might be something we start doing, is just pitching some fictitious ideas that we think would be cool to be implemented into the game. Anyways, I want to apologize again for me splitting that episode into two and it being just kind of abrupt, you just being thrown into mid conversation in this episode. So apologies there. I would like to go ahead and say thank you again to the Sun King for joining me on this week's show. Look forward to having you back, and I look forward to seeing you all again either at Realm News Flash on Tuesday or next Thursday at Realm News. I wish you all happy crafting. With that said, the Dark Lord signing out. Hello, Realm News fans. I just wanted to pop back in here and just tell you all how much I appreciate you for listening to the show. It means the world to me that you tune in every week to hear me, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am honored to be your host and to be able to deliver you weekly original Minecraft content with Realm News Flash and Realm News on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you enjoy the show, I would love it if you would just tell your friends about it, tell them to follow the show, hit that like button, and leave a comment. I know that on Spotify you can leave comments on individual episodes, same on Good Pods. I'm not sure about all the other podcast player platforms out there, but I appreciate feedback. So please comment if you're able to. If you can't comment wherever you listen to Realm News, then you can by following Realm News at either its Twitter, now X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or email, which is all found at bio.link/Realm News, all lowercase. Again, that's bio.link/Realm News. And also, I want to tell you, sign up to be a Patreon member there. Go to that bio link and find the Patreon membership button and click it. You can be a free member or you can join the copper or diamond tier memberships. And you'll find my prices at the Patreon when you click on that link that I told you where to find that. But in that copper and diamond tier, you're going to get early access to episodes, bonus episodes, new newsletters, and ebooks. Yes, I'm dropping my first ebook here soon. It's called Torvingi in the village of Alp, and it's a Minecraft-inspired book, or I should say novelette. It's going to be part of a trilogy, and you can read the first chapter right now for free by signing up as a free member today at the Patreon. I urge you to go do it, check it out, and drop a review on that chapter. I want the feedback, please. Also, there's a ton of other free content on there. And if you do sign up to be a copper diamond tier, like I said, you're going to get the newsletters, bonus episodes, and early access to the all these episodes, which is about a month worth of episodes. So that's a heck of a good deal, folks. Go sign up. And with that said, I wish you all happy crafting, and I'll see you at the next Realm News or Realm News Flash. The Dark Lord signing out.